I've been a mechanic for 15 years, ran my own shop for the last 7, just outside Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Taylor's Automotive. Nothing fancy, just honest. Wrench-turning work in a town where people know your name, whether you want them to or not. I'm Jessica Taylor, 38, veteran, grease-stained most days, knees worn out in my overalls. This garage? It's mine. Built it from the ground up after leaving the military. We're known for being fair, especially to vets. We offer discounts, don't nickel and dime people. And yeah, we still write up estimates on carbon copy pads. My team's small but solid. Marcus Wilson, assistant manager, heart of the shop. Ethan Parker and Danny Rodriguez, both young. Fast learners, good with engines, better with people. Business was steady. Not booming, but steady until I took out a loan to expand, bought state-of-the-art diagnostic machines, upgraded the bays. It was a risk, big one, but I believed in the place. Then one Tuesday in October, this pristine black Mustang GT pulled into the lot. 2023 model, clean, flashy, way too polished for our gravel drive. Outstepped this tall guy, mid-40s, sharp military cut, Rolex glinting in the sun like it belonged on a recruiting poster. You could tell from the way he walked, thought the world owed him a salute. Introduced himself as Colonel Richard Brooks. Gave me one of those handshakes meant to establish dominance. Said he wanted to speak to the owner. I wiped my hands on a rag and told him he was looking at her. He blinked slow, surprised. You're the mechanic? Like I just told him the car was powered by fairy dust. I'm the owner and the lead mechanic, I said. What seems to be the issue? He said the steering felt off, strange noise, urgency in his voice. Needed it fixed by tomorrow. Important meeting with the base commander, he said. I told him repairs usually took 2 or 3 days, depending on parts. That won't work for me. I am Kenneth Brooks. This needs priority. Now, real military leaders good, ones they don't throw their rank around in civilian settings. But I agreed to run a quick diagnostic. Spent an hour under that car while Brooks paced and sighed and made passive-aggressive calls on speakerphone. Found the issue: the power steering pump was failing, and the front suspension had serious wear. Not something you rush unless you want a death trap on wheels. I told him straight, 2 days minimum. Parts had to be ordered. Safety was non-negotiable. He didn't like that. You don't understand who I am, he said. I oversee vehicle maintenance contracts for Fort Campbell. Your little shop could benefit from those. There it was. Unspoken, but clear, fast track his car, and maybe we'd get some lucrative military business. I stood my ground. Sir, I said, we don't compromise on safety. He laughed. Other shops would jump at this opportunity. Then maybe those shops are a better fit, I replied. He backed down barely. Told Marcus on his way out. If your boss knew how business worked, she'd recognize opportunity when it knocked. Marcus was nervous. Jess, that guy's got pull. Are we sure we can't? No games, I said. We do the work right, or we don't do it at all. 2 days later, the Mustang was ready. Final bill, $1, $8.50 parts and labor, priced fair. Brooks showed up, demanded to see every line item, accused me of marking up parts 200%. Loudly, in front of other customers. I'm only paying $1,200, he said. That's generous. I showed him our pricing sheet, costs, markup, even comparisons with other shops. He didn't care. Said I was gouging. Pulled out his phone. I was going to recommend your shop for a service contract, $80,000 a year. But now, I'll report this. I offered a 10% military discount. Brought the total to $1,665. Fine, he snapped. Slapped his card down. But this isn't over. A week later, I got an email from Fort Campbell requesting bids for a new maintenance contract. My heart leapt. I prepped our proposal, double-checked pricing, sent it off. 3 days later, rejection. Concerns regarding pricing, ethics, and service quality. Copied to Colonel Brooks. Then came the rumors. Mike Danielsa, good man, Army surgeon, longtime customer, came in looking uneasy. Jess, I hate to tell you this, but Brooks has been telling people on base not to use your shop. Says you overcharge. Guys are canceling appointments. And they were. 5 in a week. Then 10. By December, revenue dropped 30%. Ethan's hours were cut. Loan payments loomed like storm clouds. Then the online reviews started clearly fake, but nasty. All using the same phrasing: overpriced, substandard, military beware. Sounded familiar. Then Laura Miller showed UPA, soldier's wife. Her family van needed a new transmission. I gave her the discount, even a payment plan. A couple days after the repair, she called me crying. "Jessica, I'm so sorry. Colonel Brooks is James' CO. He told him your work is dangerous, that we put our family at risk using you." That night, I stared at our overdue bills, thought about calling Brooks, apologizing, begging, anything. But then something caught my eye: security cam footage still running on my office computer. I got an idea. Pulled everything: repair records, labor logs, footage of Brooks' Mustang when it came in. Created a side-by-side price breakdown with other local shops. Ours was cheaper every time. Started documenting everything. Then I called in a favor. I still had contact from my Army days. Retired Major Linda Roberts was one of them. Told her the story. "This smells like abuse of power," she said. "Could be procurement fraud if he's manipulating contracts out of spite." She checked around. Found out Brooks had been quietly transferred from Fort Benning after guess what similar complaints. Meanwhile, I made our shop's pricing transparent. Every invoice now included exact parts cost, markup percentage, comparison to dealerships. Posted it online. Sent it to customers. Invited folks to leave honest reviews, good or bad. Laura's husband, James, emailed from deployment. "My CEO has no right to tell us where to get repairs. This isn't right." Then Mike Daniels returned with a document. Maintenance billing records from base vehicles. The prior contractor charged nearly double what I quoted. The company name? Precision Autocare. Owned by Robert Brooks, Colonel Brooks' brother. I filed a complaint with the Army Inspector General. Included everything: repair logs, fake reviews, military family testimonials, and those procurement records. 2 weeks later, I got a call from Captain Teresa Washington. "We're investigating your complaint. You're not the first to report issues with Colonel Brooks." I went to the base, sat down with her and Major Williams. Tense meeting. They took it seriously. Next day, Brooks stormed into my garage. "You filed a complaint against me," he shouted. "Do you know what you've done?" Marcus calmly hit the record button. I looked Brooks in the eye. I told the truth. "What happens next is up to the Army. You'll regret this," he hissed. "Your little shop won't survive the month." "Is that a threat, sir?" I asked loud enough for the mic to catch. He backpedaled, but the damage was done. That night, Captain Washington emailed me. "Colonel Brooks' brother's company is suspended pending investigation. Also reviewed the security footage. Thank you." 3 weeks later, I was summoned to Fort Campbell HQ. Big room. Serious people. Brigadier General Thomas Hayes led the meeting. Brooks was there, too, stone-faced, with a military attorney. "Miss Taylor," the general began, "thank you for bringing this forward. Our investigation found substantial evidence of contract steering and retaliation." They laid it all out. Brooks funneled contracts to his brother's shop, overcharged the base by $145,000. Maligned my business after I wouldn't cut corners. This wasn't his first offense. Fort Benning had quietly reassigned him after pressure silenced a prior complainant. Brooks' lawyer tried to speak. The general shut him down. The evidence speaks for itself. Then the shocker. General Hayes turned to me. "Miss Taylor, the Army owes you an apology. You acted with integrity under pressure." He slid a folder across the table. "We're reopening the maintenance contract, dividing it so smaller businesses can compete. We encourage you to bid." Brooks exploded. "She can't handle the volume. She's one mechanic with a tiny shop." "Sit down, Colonel," the general snapped. "Your judgment is not required here." Brooks was relieved of duty. Investigated. Eventually forced into early retirement. Quiet, but definitive. We won the bid. Hired 2 more mechanics. James, Laura's husband, joined us after his deployment. Business boomed. Civilians came, too drawn by the transparency, the story, the values. 6 months later, Robert Brooks showed up, awkward, apologetic. "My brother, he's always craved control. I should have asked more questions." "You overcharged the base," I said. He nodded. "I'm shutting it down. Paying it back." A year after it all, I stood at Fort Campbell giving a talk on ethical small business practices. Brigadier General Hayes joined me on stage. Miss Taylor's courage, he said, sparked meaningful reforms in military procurement. The base's new service garage, renamed Integrity Center. Not officially from a but, let's be honest, it kind of was. As for Brooks, last I heard, he's selling real estate in Florida. Not very well. Sometimes I think, what if I'd been, just once? Let him cut the line, knocked a few bucks off, play the game? I'd have saved myself the mess. But I'd also still be a mechanic drowning in debt, not a business owner running a respected, growing shop with her head held high. Sometimes holding your line, especially when it costs you, isn't just the right thing. It's the smart thing. It's the powerful thing. So now I ask you, have you ever stood your ground when everything told you not to? Ever had someone in power try to push you around and you push back? Drop your stories below. Let's talk about justice, business, and what it really means to have integrity when no one's watching. Because the truth, that's where the real power is.